Hi, I'm Rob Silver with Josh Abrams, and you're watching WACA-TV Varsity Football here at William Cunis Field, Ashland High School, The Plateau. And we're about ready to kick off for tonight's matchup against the Concord Carlisle Patriots. But before we do that, let's just talk a little bit about last week's game. Josh?
Thanks, Rob. A great opening night for the Clockers as they took on the Greater Lowell Regional Tech High School. 36-14 win. We saw 3 quarterbacks. We saw 5 different scorers. And we saw strength across the board throughout the night from the offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, and it was kind of an easy matchup. And 30-0 at halftime allowed Coach McKay to bring in some of those second stringers, and they did really well. Play calling kind of conservative because they didn't have to get creative. So tonight should be a different matchup, this Concord Carlisle team. I talked to assistant coach Jackson on our side, who was involved with their program for years, and he basically said, good people, good program. It's Division II. They did lose last week 28-0 to a strong Marblehead team, so you kind of really can't get a gauge on, about the program there. So it should be a good matchup tonight, and looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Anything can happen. So, but we expect great things from the Clockers tonight based on last week's action. And one of the things we're going to be looking for is Connor Kramer, the big tight end, number 87. He did figure into the scoring last week, but he was not a major part of the offense. And we'll see with a bigger team this week if he sees a little more action. So that's something to keep our eye on. So for now, for Rob Silver, I'm Josh Abrams, and stay tuned for coming up next, Clockers and Patriots here on WACA-TV.
At Gillette Stadium, Ashland is the Super Bowl champion of Division VI and the winner of the Aganis Trophy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, like we said, William Cunis Field at Ashland High School, otherwise known as The Plateau. This is Rob Silver with my partner Josh Abrams on WACA-TV. We're just about ready to get underway. Tonight's matchup is the Ashland Clockers 1-0 against the 0-1 Concord Carlisle Patriots. Should be a good game tonight, Josh. What do you think?
Looking forward to it, Rob. Again, hopefully the Clockers can build off their momentum from last week's big win over Greater Lowell Regional Tech and take advantage, hopefully, Concord Carlisle in the dumps over that 28-0 loss to Marblehead last Friday.
I don't know if we were live for that, the Star Spangled Banner, but that was quite the rendition.
Very impressive, very impressive. And Ashland Senior, too.
Yeah, I didn't get the name. I apologize, but
we'll have that for our folks here at the halftime.
And ready to go. John Gillia with the kickoff. Take it.
Okay, here we go. Clockers are wearing their traditional Clocker blue jerseys, white helmets, white letters, numerals, and pants. And you may have mistaken Concord Carlisle for Boston College. Gold helmets, white jerseys, crimson numbers, and pants. Gilly are ready to kick off here to start things off tonight, Friday night live here on WACA-TV. Julia puts it heading for the end zone. Gonna run this one out after a brief slip inside the end zone and brought down at their own 24-yard line.
Looked like it was Jack McGoffin on the tackle. That was number 6, Ryan McCullough, one of the senior wide receivers on the run back for the Patriots.
Okay, so 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
24-yard line, not bad starting position from a defensive standpoint.
Absolutely.
We'll take that. It was a deep kick.
Yeah, again, we saw that big leg from Gilia last week, and he's picking up right where he left off tonight.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 on extra points, and here we go.
Okay, the handoff goes to number 9.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's Blake Newcomb.
Yes, sir.
Stop for a short gain. That'll bring up 2nd down.
McGoffin, Drozek in there on the tackle. A couple other players there too. Good penetration by the defense.
Absolutely. Again, they're picking up right where they left off last week. Defensive line was very strong for the Clockers last week. Helped keep that score down against Greater Lowell.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do it again here tonight against Concord Carlisle. 2nd and 8. Another handoff and drop for a loss. It looked like that was the give again was to number 9, Blake Newcomb for the Patriots, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Looked like McGoff and Gillis, and Drozek was right in there as well. All the 9s, by the way, 9, 59, and 19.
Okay, it looks like the Clockers are going to go big here on defense here on 3rd down as Connor Kramer among those checking into the game along with Jake Caveney.
And it is 3rd and 9, long 9.
Double handoff and sniffed out by the Clockers. Drop for a big loss led by Dylan Drozak.
So a good start. Good start by the Clocker defense. A loss of 5 yards. And I think last week it probably wasn't until late in the second half, actually maybe even the beginning of the second half, that the Griffins actually got into positive territory on offense. So.
Absolutely. Just a really strong first series here for the Clocker defense, forcing the Patriots to punt, and their punter's back at his own 6.
It's Jake Troutman deep for the.
Oh, it's blocked. That looked like he almost punted it right into the back of his own man.
I think he either missed it or, yeah, it was definitely not looking good.
So, Rob, just like we said in the pregame, Clockers dominating multiple facets of the game. First defense and now special teams. Big opportunity here for the Clockers deep in Patriot territory on their first series of the night.
Yeah, and like we said also in the pregame, it's hard to really gauge where this Concord Carlisle program is. They play in a Division II, which is inherently a tougher division, and they're under second-year coach Josh Reed.
Okay, so back to the action at hand. Good to see Luke Herter back under center here for the Clockers with Molesky as the lone back. He gets the handoff, pushes ahead, and down inside the 10, down close to the 7, it looks like. Let's see where they spot this one. Right about at the 7, so that'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Clockers. Herter comes jogging back in from the sideline. He'll give the play off to his teammates.
And just like we talked about last week with Molesky, likes the contact, able to move the pile. Did so there.
And Peter Gigliotti now the lone setback here for the Clockers. Man in motion, moving from right to left. There's the handoff to Herter, to Gigliotti, right up the middle. Touchdown, Clockers! 9:08 to go in the first quarter, Robin. Clockers are already on the board.
And just like he did last week, he took the handoff and he basically went in untouched thanks
Again,
to that offensive line.
Opening a big hole right up the middle. So John Gilia here on to kick the extra point for the Clockers. And again, just across the board, Rob. First defense, then special teams, and the offense punches it in 3 plays into the first series. Gilia boots it right down the middle. Make it 7-0 Clockers here with 9:08 to go in the first quarter.
That extra point would have been good from 40 yards. Gives us a moment to thank our sponsors tonight.
Absolutely, good idea. So let's start off tonight. Tonight's game sponsored in part by Marathon Deli at 12 Union Street. They have a delicious assortment of wraps, sandwiches, salads, and more. Check out their menu at marathondeli.com. And of course, we also want to thank Marathon Deli for sending over food for us and the crew.
We have Technoplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19. And a new sponsor tonight.
Right, we also want to thank the new Ashland Ale House with delicious food, a comfortable family atmosphere, and the friendliest service around. The Ashland Ale House is open for both indoor and outdoor seating as well as curbside pickup. Visit them at ashlandalehouse.com to check out the menu and place an order. Back to the action at hand. Clockers up 7-0, and John Giglia here to kick off from his own 40-yard line. He reached the end zone last time. Let's see what happens now. Another big end-over-end kick, pushing the receiver back, and he lets it go through the back of the end zone, touchback, and the Patriots will start off this time at their own 20.
Yeah, Ryan McCullough realized that probably a better idea when you're going to field it at the 5. Let it go, and they will start at the 20-yard line, excuse me.
Unless you've got superior special teams, Rob, you're going to have a hard time matching up against those kind of kickoffs. So the Patriots will start here their second series of the night. This is Dylan Jennings handing off. As that's number 9 again, Blake Newcomb trying to find some room on the right side, and he gets stopped short. Just a short gain there, bringing up second down as we tick down under 9 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And the ball was came out a little bit after the play was down, but I like the aggressiveness by Jake Troutman, number 3, going over and picking the ball up, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Just play to the whistle, right?
Play to the whistle and then some.
Okay, Clockers look like they're lining up at a three-man front this time, although Gigliotti joined the line late. Here's a run right up the middle by Dylan Jennings. He kept it himself. Another short gain, and it'll be, again, 3rd and long for the Patriots.
Yeah, and that was his the Dylan counterpart making the tackle.
Dylan Trozak.
Dylan Trozak in there, read it all the way. Last week, we didn't call his name a lot, and watching the tape and talking to a couple people, he was double-teamed a lot last week, probably triple-teamed. So
he's drawing some attention.
Yeah, this week he's able to kind of move around a little bit.
Okay, so on the scoreboard, it's 3rd and 8 here for the Patriots. Jennings joined with a lone setback, and probably Newcomb. He scrambles over to his left, gets rid of it at the last second, falls incomplete as he was about to get sacked. He was able to get that one off clean.
Didn't really see a receiver in the area as a lineman, number 76. But
you're looking for some intentional grounding there, Rob?
Yeah.
Well, he got out of the pocket.
Pocket doesn't matter in high school, actually. So that is the rule in high school. There's no out of the pocket, throw it to the line of scrimmage. You can't throw it away and avoid it. You have to have a receiver in the area. One of the few differences between pros in here.
Glad to have an expert like you on board tonight on the broadcast. Here's the snap. This time the punt does get off, but it's short. It bounces at the 45 and rolls out of bounds just over the 50. Out of bounds, and the Clockers will take over at their own 48-yard line. So not as good starting field position as the first series, Rob, but still excellent starting position for the second series.
Might be a little bit more enjoyable for the fans.
May I actually get to see a pass this time?
Yeah, last week they started out with a couple short passes to Jake Troutman that worked out really well. It was able to gain some good yardage.
And as you mentioned, Rob, I mean, they really had a balanced attack. They were spreading the ball around. I mean, at least 3, 4, 5 different receivers over the course of the night.
Yeah, and if they can just do it on the ground all night, let's do it.
Okay, so here's Troutman with Molesky in the backfield. They've got 3 wideouts. That's Keegan Weiss in motion. The handoff to Molesky. He hits the 50 and keeps on going. Finally brought down at the Patriot 40 for a first down. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, Rob? The running game is Doing just fine so far.
Yeah, what do you get, about 4 yards, 5 yards after contact?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it looked like he was pulling 2 or 3 guys with him before they finally were able to get his feet out.
As a defender, you kind of have to think twice about going in there solo
Sure.
and tackling the guy.
Okay, same combination in the backfield here. Herder and Molesky with 3 wide outs, a tight end back. Weiss in motion again. Handoff again. Oh, play action fake.
He's got
Herder,
Palin wide open.
he overthrew him. Right idea, just a little too hard. It reminds me a little bit of the play late in the game last night for the Giants against the Washington football team. I don't know if you happen to catch that.
I did.
I think it was Darius Slayton that Daniel Young he was so open, like 20 yards
Palin
back.
definitely wasn't as open, but yeah, that was.
It's what came to mind there.
Right. Well, he actually was. He got behind him right away, and then I
Just
don't know if
overthrew
he
him.
just cut his root off. And
Well, anyway, that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Clockers. 6:45 to go in the first quarter. Molesky again in the backfield. This time it's Rimza in motion. Here's the handoff to Molesky, and he rolls and dodges and finally brought down around the 36-yard line. We'll see where they spot this one, but a good run by Molesky. It should bring up 3rd and short for the Clockers. Okay, make it 3rd and 6.
yeah, I think it was Vince Mermelstein in on the tackle for the Patriots of Concord, Carlisle.
Do they have a Vince Mermelstein too?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm like, that name sounds familiar. I think I called that last week. Yeah, John Keeler. I'm like, really? A sophomore in there, huh? John Keeler.
Okay, 3rd and 6 for the Clockers. They're showing 4 wideouts. Molesky in the backfield. Herder's back to pass. He'll take it himself. Hits a bump at the line momentarily. He's got a first down and more. And takes the hit as he gets brought down around the 21-yard line. First down for the Clockers.
And we said that in the beginning of last week's promo intro. He likes to put it on the ground, and he's as efficient doing that as he is putting it in the air.
Okay, Rob, we're going no huddle here for the Clockers. Herder calling it out. Looks like it might be a going to change things up here a little, going to audible. Almost an audible. He's looking over to the sideline to Coach McKay for the right play call. Clockers have them split way out wide here. 2 wide receivers on each side. Molesky here to pass protect. Here's the pass attempt. Complete to Palin for, I was going to say for a first down, but it's a short gain. It brought down at the 10.
Might be 9. I think they gave him the first down.
Let's see how they spot this. They're not moving now they're moving the chains. It was indeed a first down. So 5:17 and counting here in the first quarter. Again, going no huddle. They're gonna keep running this one on the Patriots. Again, we're seeing a similar formation for the Clockers as they've got 2 wideouts on each side of the line. Molesky in the backfield.
He just used the size matchup to his advantage because he looked at Palin the whole way, almost like, I'm going to him.
We've got a timeout. Concord Carlisle.
Calling for water. They got to put out the fire.
You just come up with that. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I did.
While we have a quick break in the action, just want to make sure fans, you're aware of the Ashland High School's new online ticket system. No more paper tickets or paying at the gate. It's currently set up for all home varsity football and volleyball games. The website is gofan.co, but you can get the full URL by checking the Clocker AD handle on Twitter. That's Clocker AD. It's Stephen Marks' Twitter handle. Be sure to buy your tickets in advance instead of when you arrive at the high school. It'll help keep the line short and moving quickly.
And we also have a little time. We can tell them about the new little show we put together with the help of a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Allison and Connor, but Clocker Talk.
Clocker Talk. It's our new bi-weekly highlight show. Highlights, interviews, and we're also taking input from you, our listening and viewing audience. If you have a person you want to have featured on the show, if you've got a question for the coach, anything along those lines, drop us an email at clockertalk@wacatv.com. We've come out of the timeout now. Again, 1st and 10 for the Clockers. 4:47 to go. Gigliotti in motion, but Molesky gets the pitch, and he's brought down just short of the goal line. I think he's at the 1, Rob.
Ref coming in from the side, I think is going to spot him at the 2.
Okay, going to push him back just a bit.
Another huge hole.
Absolutely.
They sent Gigliotti in motion. That just
So other than 2 pass attempts, I believe, it's been all runs so far tonight, Rob. 1 for 2 for Herter.
yes, I have 4 rushes from Molesky. He's up to 27 yards already. 15 for Herter.
Okay. 2nd and goal now for the Clockers. I formation. Handoff goes to Molesky, the deep back, and he's in for an easy touchdown. Touchdown, Clockers, 13-0, with 3:57 to go in the first quarter.
Let's go.
So almost a carbon copy of his last touchdown, Rob.
Yeah, impressive start. The only difference with that run, Molesky didn't touch anyone. It must have felt odd for him to run the ball and not have somebody smack into him.
So Gilia back here to kick for the extra point.
That's Philip Bork with the long snap. Weiss on the hold. Gilia good
Splits
again.
the uprights again, so 14-0. And still plenty of time left here in the first quarter, just under 4 minutes to go. So far tonight, Rob, it's been all Clockers. Remember, Concord Carlisle lost 28-0 to Marblehead last Friday, and they're about halfway there tonight. 14-0 lead for the Clockers here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely an impressive start. And it gives, again, depending on how the game progresses, but it gives Coach McKay the luxury of saving some of those plays, not showing your hand to some of these other
And developing some
teams.
depth,
Yeah.
like you said in the pregame, right? That some of the second stringers got some significant minutes last week, and it may wind up being that way this week. Gilia on to kick here for the Clockers. It looks like Ryan McCullough, one of the 2 back for the Patriots, to receive this one. So here's Gilia. It's more of a line drive kick, but it sails all the way into the end zone and through. So another touchback, as those Patriot receivers happy to just let that one sail right on by, and they'll just take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
And if my memory serves me correct, in the first 2 possessions, I believe the Concord Carlisle Patriots are net negative 2 yards. So
That's a lot of math.
as well, it's only been 6 plays. So.
I was pretty sure they were negative yards for the night, but
Yeah, I think they were negative 4 plus 2.
and then that blocked or muffed or dropped punt, just a backbreaker for the Patriots to end their first possession.
So they may have to start throwing the ball.
See, there's Dylan Jennings at quarterback. He hands off here to number 34, Brian Jennings. So,
And it was looks like Molesky and McGough on the tackle.
okay, so 5 yards on first down, their biggest gain of the night. And if your math is right, they're now on the positive side for net yards on the night.
Yeah, well, it's like card counting. I can't keep track of it all night, but early on, then I get distracted,
Sure.
and all of a sudden,
Yeah, I mean, I understand how
but-
those MIT guys did it, you
Right.
know, when they brought down the house.
yeah,
but
you
I
have to have
I can't do that kind of
somebody
math.
that's focused on it.
Right,
So,
right.
Plus 2. There's a handoff.
The handoff to Newcomb, and he is stopped after a short gain. A big pile right in the middle of the field.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Clockers in on that scrum.
They're not letting up, Rob, you know, like not going to even give the Patriots a chance to breathe here. So it's 3rd and 5, so no gain on that last running play.
And a very boisterous Clocker sideline. Coach loves to see that.
Absolutely.
Hear that.
Yep. So Dylan Jennings just brought the play in from the sideline. Patriots are showing just 2 wide receivers on the near side of the field here, a lone setback. Here's a man in motion.
Oh, it's
Got a
fumbled.
loose ball.
Fell right back into, well, actually,
It looks like it's a Patriot who's going to come out of the pile with
think it
this
was-
one.
was it 53? Keelar. No?
Yep. Good call, yeah. number 53, John Keelar, member of the offensive line for the Patriots, brings up fourth down for the Patriots. They're going to bring on the punt unit. But again, I mean, just that entire play didn't look good from the outset, Rob. Just very sloppy. I'm not sure who knew, if anybody knew who was getting the ball there, and then it popped loose.
Yeah, I kind of had a good close-up, and it just looked like the quarterback lost it as he tried to pull it away. And it might have even been what should have been a throw, a passing play. High snap.
It's a spiraling kick. Troutman under it.
There's
And we're
the
going to get the flag. He did call for the fair catch, dove forward for it, and drew contact. So what was already going to be good field position will be even better now. They should be starting on the Patriots side of the field once this ball gets spotted.
I think that's 15 yards. Bring us over to the 38-yard line. Good job, regardless of Troutman, to hang on to that even with all the traffic. And the
Absolutely. I was a little nervous. He didn't look real strong under that ball, but he did come down with it. I have to give him credit. It was a great catch, and he held on to it despite the illegal contact.
It's a beautiful night here, but there is a little bit of wind going from our right to left. So, you know, first quarter, Julia's been kicking with the wind. It's not huge, but it's there, and that one definitely knuckled into the wind a tiny bit, kind of caught him off guard.
You know, Rob, I was also going to mention weather conditions and that last play by the Patriots where that ball came loose. I'm wondering if the humidity tonight had any effect, if that ball's getting a little slippery out there.
We'll give him that. We'll give him that, just, as opposed to just.
Okay, Clockers will start first and 10 at the Patriot 39. Herder with the snap, hands off to Molesky. Oh, sorry, I lost track of the ball as Herder kept it for himself and rolls through the pile all the way down to about the 30. We'll see where they spot him. I bought the play fake, Rob.
You did, but I'm sure our trusty camera people, Nick Cunningham and Mackie Kotab, weren't fooled.
This is still early season action for you and me, not just the players, Rob.
So the pickup of 8, actually, on that.
The scoreboard has them at 9. Well, either way.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, 2nd and 1 at the 31.
Look at that. Scoreboard's wrong. Because I think the PA announcer yelled it out.
Okay, and I'm looking at the chains. 2. It does look like 2nd and 2. We'll call it that way. Either way, 2nd and short. Herder under center and shotgun. Weiss in motion. Herder does hand it to Molesky this time, but he's hit quickly.
Look at that.
And somehow pops up out of it. I don't know how I thought he was down. That's incredible. What effort by Molesky, and a huge first down.
Holding penalty.
So that's coming back.
That's how he was able to get open, I guess. Well, actually, he fought like heck to break that tackle.
I mean, I saw him
avoid the backfield.
Yeah, I saw him avoid the first hit, but I thought the second guy got him. But all of a sudden, he was bursting through the line. It was incredible. But all for naught as the ball will get moved back. Penalties called against the Clockers. We're down to 40.8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clockers up 14-0. He's Rob Silver. I'm Josh Abrams. We're glad to have you with us tonight, Friday night, here, Clockers versus the Patriots of Concord, Carlisle, here at the Plateau.
They still haven't marked off the penalty. Trying to direct the chains to make sure that they get it right on the sidelines. No. Oh, they had moved the chains. That was the problem. So they had moved the chains, so they had to move it back
moved it for the
and
first
then
down.
mark it off.
Okay, so the ball's been spotted now at the Patriot 39, which I think is roughly about where this drive started, Rob.
Yeah. So it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So he had actually fouled Kurt just beyond the line of scrimmage. Okay, so it is 2nd and 10.
And the Clockers overloading the near side here. 3 wide receivers, 1 on the right. And Molesky in his usual position there in the backfield.
See if they send somebody cutting across the field.
We haven't seen Connor Kramer yet tonight. We had said in the pregame we were expecting to see him in the mix more tonight, taking advantage of his height. Here's Herder with a pass complete. That's to Jake Rimza down right around the 30-yard line. So he'll be about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, they get the 8 yards back.
Okay.
Very similar to the play they ran for the touchdown last week.
Right.
Just good timing.
Yep.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Quick one. Exciting.
Absolutely, and very one-sided as the Clockers take a 14-0 lead over the Concord Carlisle Patriots as the teams switch sides to start the second quarter. So, Rob, what do you like so far? I mean, there's a lot to like, but, top 2-3 things you like so far here in the first quarter.
They just have a good game plan and they execute. Whether it's the blocking, the handoffs, you don't see the bobbled snaps, stuff like that you see with a lot of these other squads. Haven't seen the penalties like you saw on the interference with Concord Carlisle on the punt. Even not to just knock on Concord Carlisle, but the long snaps for a punt, it's not a gimme,
Right.
and
Not at this level.
no, and the Clockers just make it seem so easy whenever they're doing that. So
It's a great point. I mean, the execution, they just look really sharp on every offensive play, and the defense has been stifling.
yeah. So they'll walk down to the other side of the field. I wanted to mention, if I can get this in, I don't want to. I'll get it in a little later. We have plenty of time. I don't want to. I want to make sure I do it justice, but.
So again, if you're just joining us, the Clockers enjoying a 14-0 lead as we start the second quarter against the Concord Carlisle Patriots. Clockers at the Patriot 30, 3rd and 1, and they're running that tight formation.
We didn't come up with a name for
Well,
it.
we didn't get anything on the email either. But here's the play. Molesky ends up with it, gets across the 30, and in for the first down.
Yeah, he just needed a yard and a half, and he got 3.
And it's funny, we were asking about Connor Kramer. He's on the field now. He's in the line.
As the wind picks up a little bit, you feel it is humid. You can feel like little droplets of rain.
Yeah, they're sticking with this tight formation here to open the second quarter. Handoff this time to Gigliotti, and he pushes the pile forward, getting down close to the 20.
Yeah, 6.
So, Rob, interesting here. I mean, we didn't see that. We saw a very similar formation throughout the first quarter, and then we start the second quarter. It's an entirely different formation, and this will be the 3rd straight play that they run it. Let's see if it's a 3rd unique running back. Oh, it is in the form of Herder, keeping it himself, and the pile's getting pushed down inside the 15. That'll be a first down for the Clockers as Herder on the keeper.
Pick up of 8.
Okay, ball spotted about the 14-yard line. The Clockers continuing in no huddle.
There's just so many options from that formation. And that's
Right, they've run 3 different ones so far in 3 plays. Herder under center. Looks like he kept it himself and pushes down inside the 10. Looks like the ball's going to get spotted right around the 10.
It was actually Molesky that got the ball.
Okay.
5 yards.
So I'm seeing Ethan Antoniuk in there as well as one of the setbacks. He's lined up right behind Herder. This time, play action. Herder scrambles off to the right, trying to beat the corner. He gets across and in, looking for the signal. It's a keep waiting for those arms to go up.
No.
No touchdown.
And a flag.
And a flag. Okay, let's see what this call is. Herder was able to get himself all the
I'm
way down
guessing
by
a
the goal
hold.
line.
It was a hold. A lot of times when you see that type of rollout and the play being extended, you'll see a hold. Unfortunately.
So Herder scrambled out to his right. I thought he was looking to pass, and then at some point he decided to pull it in and try to gain the corner himself, and he made good progress, but somewhere in there was a holding penalty against the Clockers, and the ball gets moved back. Looks like to about the 14-yard line.
And it was actually, it was Connor Kramer who was the target on that play. He had slipped out behind the defense, but just not enough room. And smart play by Herder to not throw it.
Okay. Clockers go back to a more traditional formation here. They've got Troutman and Rimza split out to the right. As I say that, Rimza goes in motion over to the left. Handoff to Molesky up the middle. Gets through the first line of defense and takes it down to about the 10. That offensive line continues to do the work. And Molesky continues to punish anybody who tries to get in his way. So this will be 3rd and 7 from the 10. Clockers huddle up this time.
2 down territory.
Okay.
Although I wouldn't mind seeing Julia kick it if they didn't get it here.
Okay, Molesky standing right next to Herder, who's in shotgun. 2 wide receivers on either side of the line. Looks like we're getting an audible here.
He's a smart quarterback. He surveys the defense.
Okay, here's the snap. Herder drops back, looking, scrambles to his right, passes across the middle. Touchdown, Clockers! Is that number 8? Yes, it is. So the
Keegan
touchdown
Weiss.
goes to Keegan Weiss. So his first touchdown of the season. And the Clockers go up 20-0. So 8:48 to go in the first half. Gilia here on for the extra point. So Rob, a lot of runs, setting up that touchdown pass from Herder to Weiss to make it 20-0.
Yeah, and it was, well, we'll watch the extra point. Weiss
Not
with
a
a hold.
great snap, but able to make it happen. 21-0 Clockers.
Still counts as a point. But that was, well, besides the penalty, it was one of the few times tonight we've seen Herder roll to his right, which you would think would be the more natural play, way for a righty to go. But he's just as effective.
He loves scrambling to the left, too. Yep.
But it was a great job. He planted, and Weiss found the open space.
Yeah, well-designed, well-executed play. It was the second time on that drive that that Herder scrambled over to his right. And but this time he finds pay dirt, hits Weiss for the touchdown, 21-0.
Once again, they share the wealth as we're now at 3 different scores. Who will it be, the first person to score multiple touchdowns? I think they're just content letting everybody get one.
Sure, it's a democracy. Spread it around. So Gili on here to kick off. There's a line drive kick spiraling in toward the end zone.
That one was into the wind. You can see the mist kind of coming that way. And just another tremendous kick.
So that's the 4th kickoff tonight for Gilia. First one was returned, and it was a nice return by the Patriots, but they've been letting them fly into the end zone ever since.
Yeah, I was going to mention real quick, if we can, tomorrow, the PJ Memorial 2nd annual golf tournament. It is sold out, but we'll talk a little bit more after one of these plays. I want to mention about PJ and the Memorial Fund.
Okay, so the Patriots starting 1st and 10 from the 20. The quarterback Jennings takes it himself and is able to turn nothing into something. As he's kind of a tall quarterback. He's able to use that height and get out. Probably a 4-yard gain there on 1st down.
So Paul P.J. Ferrer was a 2014 Ashland graduate, member of the varsity football team. P.J. was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in August of 2016. Sadly, he passed away in December 2018. P.J. loved the Ashland football program, was actively involved with coaching the team while fighting his illness, and that's where this PJ Memorial Fund comes out of, and I'll talk a little bit how you can donate to that after this play.
Sure, sounds good. Play getting called in from the sidelines. Jennings has 2 setbacks, this time flanking him on either side. He drops back to pass, quickly throws a screen, but hits him in the hands. That was Blake Newcomb, as it hit him in the hands and dropped harmlessly to the ground.
So like I said, the golf tournament's tomorrow. Hopefully, I got a foursome going. I recruited a couple ringers from the office. So hopefully I can knock off Coach McKay and his group.
Oh, good luck with that.
I think he's got Brooks Koepka again this year in his group.
Very competitive.
He always wins.
He's very competitive.
But the PJ Memorial Fund gives scholarships to candidates of the graduating class of Ashland High School who are involved with the football program. So donations can be made by going to the PJ Memorial Fund website at ferrierstrong.com. That's FERRIER strong.com, and you can follow their fund on Facebook at at Ferrier Strong. Here's the pass.
Back to the action. Jennings. Oh, Jennings has his pass over the middle blocked. I don't know if that was Dylan Drozak who got a hand on it. Got knocked straight up in the air before falling down, uncaught, and that'll bring up 4th down yet again for the Patriots. They have yet to convert a 1st down tonight, Rob.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Dylan Drozak did effectively last year was a lot of knockdown passes at the line of scrimmage. I remember in that Medfield game, I think he had 3 in a row on 3 consecutive downs, which helped rally the troops.
So it looks like this is Will Law, number 30, back to punt for the Patriots. He gets one off. Caught on a line by Jake Troutman, who does get the fair catch. He signaled for it and was allowed to make it this time. So the Clockers, again, starting with very good field position. They'll start at their own 46 this time.
That was Pat Deloria's in there, almost got a piece of it on the punt block attempt.
So 7:45 to go in the first half. Clockers with the ball. They've scored on every possession so far tonight. Connor Kramer checks in as Luke Herter jogs in from the sideline with the play to kick off this series.
Now, if it continues like this, and I do the play-by-play in the second half, I'm not going to know any of the names. All right, we got Kramer.
Kramer split out wide. Herter in shotgun with Molesky beside him. Drops back to pass. 3-step drop. Going long. He's looking for him all the way. Excellent coverage there by the cornerback, number 6, Ryan McCullough. About the only one on the team who can match up with him height-wise.
You know, and I'd like to see the replay. I don't think it was that bad a pass or the coverage. Again, it might have been one of those turned the wrong way through his hands. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought the coverage was very good. He was matching him step for step.
Coverage was good. The 6 inches that he has on anybody. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. This time Max Palin is split out wide, near side of the field, closest to us. The Clockers in some kind of an I formation that gives us to number 10. Jacob, make that number 40, excuse me, number 40, Peter Gigliotti, of course, with a big run down the right sideline before he's knocked out of bounds in Patriot territory, and another 1st down for the Clockers. So again, Rob, the new Clocker uniforms this year, the font and the numbers are much bigger. It's a lot easier to read, but even so, I'm still.
I know when you
without
said
binoculars,
when you
I'm
said
having
10,
some trouble.
I'm like, how'd they sneak number 10 in there?
This is probably the point in the show when my optometrist doesn't want me to mention her by name. 1st and 10 for the Clockers at the Patriot 39. That's Dwinell's in motion. The give is to Molesky right up the gut. And it's going to take 5 guys to bring him down. We've got 2 flags on the field. Let's see where this goes. But if the play stands, before I could even say if the play stands, both penalties called against the Clockers. So that one's coming back. A nice big run by Molesky. He had some daylight, but looks like we got holding.
So you mentioned your eyesight. Somebody actually stole my glasses. But don't worry, I'll find you. I have contacts. That's what hours of TikTok will do for you.
That is such a dad joke.
Exactly. It was so bad.
Kids are rolling their eyes, and I can't stop laughing.
Right.
So 1st and 15 now. Clockers going backwards. They're still in Patriot territory here. As Gigliotti goes in motion as the ball is snapped. The ball goes to Gigliotti down to the left side, and he is met quickly after a 3-yard gain.
That was the Patriots' best defensive play as far as the run goes.
Absolutely. So it looks like Jake Rims is coming in and Gigliotti's going out.
Yeah, my doctor also told me that I'm colorblind. That came totally out of the purple.
Don't quit your day job. So 2nd and 12 for the Clockers. The ball spotted about the Patriot 41. Rims in motion. Herder scrambles over to his right, looking, tries to avoid a sack, dishes off, and just out of the reach of Jake Troutman diving to try to make a shoestring catch. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long here for the Clockers. So 3rd and 12, 5:53 to go. Clockers up 21-0. This drive not as successful as the previous ones. In danger of having their streak snapped here of consecutive scoring drives.
Yeah, good coverage there. Good penetration as well.
Mm-hmm. But Herder, you've mentioned before, he's tough to bring down. He was able to get a legitimate pass off before they could get the sack.
Yeah, instead of losing 7 yards, he threw it to a place where either, I think it was Troutman was going to catch it or nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to be throwing it away. So.
Yeah. So 3 wide receivers over to the near side. Herder back, looking, firing, and in and out of the hands of Jake Rimza. He may have taken his eye off that one. It hit him in the hands, but he's not able to make the completion. And that'll bring up the first 4th down of the night for the Clockers.
Yeah.
I think even for John Giglia, this is a little long to be attempting a field goal. So
this is Gano territory.
This is no territory, right? Giants.
Yeah, this would be a 58-yarder.
I thought you were going to say like Gary Gnu.
Oh, on the Gnu's?
You got that one. Nice job.
I did. Do you remember Ganip Ganop? Do you remember that game? No. God. Game with the balls, you had to like press the thing and shoot it through to the other side. All right.
So the Clocker punt team is on for the first time tonight. And that's Twinells with it way out of bounds, almost reaching the newly resurfaced track. And now the Patriots will start with probably their best starting field position of the night, their own 25.
Yeah, just a net of 16 on that. But both the rims of play, he may have taken his eyes off the ball, but it may have also been, like you mentioned, the ball could be a little slick. It's definitely misty down here.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, that play would have been short, wouldn't have been a first down. The coverage was there, and he had only run like 5 yards, 6 yards. So.
But would have been close enough to go for it on 4th.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Good point.
Okay, so here we go. The Patriots.
Where's the flag there?
Jennings will keep it himself and land on his head. We've got a little bit of a skirmish over here on the side. As, who is that? Is that Jack McGough getting tied up with one of the players? There's just a lot of late contact there.
How they missed the 2-minute motion is beyond me. This receiver started running before this. But.
Well, it was a quarterback keeper. Jennings takes it himself, a 3-yard gain. Ticking down to about 5 minutes to go in the first half. Clockers up 21-0. And the Patriots, again, 2nd and 7 from their own 28.
Nobody on the left side of the lineup.
Nope. No, this is a man in motion. It was an oversized formation. Jennings again keeping it himself. He seems to be losing faith in his teammates. He keeps calling his own number. 2nd straight time there on this drive. And he's close to a first down.
Right. That was probably part of the design with everybody lined up to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Run down the field, clear out that section, and I'm going to keep it.
But then they brought that man in motion late, so
little misdirection.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So it'll bring up 3rd and 2 here for the Patriots. Again, their shortest 3rd down conversion attempt of the night. And this time overloaded here on the near side. Jennings hands to Newcomb, who gets met by a host of Clockers. He did not come close to making that first down, Rob.
No.
Gets dropped for a loss.
At what point is it a host of Clockers? Is it 3 or more? Is it more than a plethora?
Well, I mean, yeah. No, plethora is more. Plethora is definitely more than a host.
Really?
I would say 2's a couple, 3's a crowd. I would say 4 and more, that's a host.
Okay.
If it gets up to 12, then it's illegal.
I thought 3 was a plethora.
Plethора's a lot more than 3. 3's a few. 3's a few. Come on. I mean, I would use plethora and myriads as synonymous.
Again, some good penetration.
Troutman backs away from it. It takes a Patriot hop, and it rolls all the way down inside the 5. So while the Patriots had their best starting position on that last series, the Clockers will start with their worst starting position of the night, but they do hold a 21-0 lead as we tick down late into the first half, 3:50 to go.
So the punter for Concord Carlisle has had a rough night, but that punt went for a net of 65 yards. So
He got the roll.
he deserves some credit there. You get it up high and things are going to happen. And I don't blame Troutman for letting it go. You get the, you know.
I mean, he's already been hit illegally once tonight.
Yeah. That's never going to happen again, that it's going to roll 40 yards.
Right. Never.
So let's see if we can break off a 97-yard play.
Oh, don't jinx it.
What are you talking
First
about?
and 10 for the Clockers from their own 3-yard line, 3:50 to go. Herder hands it off to Molesky, who picks up a hard-earned couple of yards. So, you know, Molesky, blue collar there. You know, he's working hard. He's taking what they're given, working for a living, right?
Molesky, I have him down for 9 carries.
Okay, I see Jake Rims into the game now. Connor Kramer there too. See if they try to go long to the big man again.
It's 21-0, 3:12 to go, clock running.
Max Palin split out wide to the near side. Molesky in the backfield with Herder. Clockers in no hurry here. Give this to Herder. Herder keeps it himself. Hits Palin, who gained the 15 before not getting knocked backwards. Let's see where they spot this. Either way, it should be a first down. I definitely need a better angle. I'm having a lot of trouble picking up these play action fakes. So it is confirmed a first down, connection to Max Palin there. As Molesky sits down for a breather. 2:35 to go here in the first half. Clockers up 21-0. Ball at their own 15. Clockers showing 4 wide receivers. Hard on the far side of the field this time. Herder scrambles that way. He has a man unblocked coming out of him. He dishes off to Rimza, who's brought down right at the 25-yard line, right by the marker. We'll see where they spot this. It should be a Clocker first down.
Yeah, they usually round it up. So if it's 9.9 yards, they usually give them the 10, and they do.
That's good stuff. If you've been checking Logan's homework, he's working on rounding right now.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Well,
tenths, hundredths.
Oh. Maybe we should have him doing stats.
Here's the snap to Herder. He comes over here to the near side. Complete and momentarily complete, but dropped by Keegan Weiss. That'll bring up second down for the Clockers at the 25.
And that stops the clock with 1:51 to go, lets them catch their breath.
So again, we want to take a quick moment to thank tonight's sponsors. Our new sponsor, Ashland Ale House, Marathon Deli, and of course, Techniplex Flexibles. Thank all 3 companies for their support. We ask that you as our viewing audience, you patronize those sponsors when and where you can.
Yeah. And thank our crew. We got Tom Hamilton with a field camera.
Absolutely, and Connor Donovan is the man.
Mackie Kotub, Connor Donovan, Nick Cunningham, Justin O'Brien ready in case somebody goes down. Oh, actually, he's on the camera now. And we want to thank your son, Chase Abrams, for helping out with the stats.
Down in the press box, helping us out with stats tonight. He's doing a great job. Clockers 2nd and 10. Again, splitting those wide receivers way out wide. Lone setback, I think, is Gigliotti. Herder back to pass. He's got good protection. Fires across the middle. He hits Troutman for a big gainer. He's across the 50, the 45 before he's brought down at the 44. A big first down for the Clockers. First down stops the clock at 1:40. Still plenty of time here.
And that was Troutman's first catch of the night, and that one went for 31 yards, the longest play from scrimmage tonight.
You'd been looking for that pass play across the middle, and they delivered there, Rob.
Yeah, he actually broke right and cut back towards the middle. And you have to thank the offensive line for giving time for that play to develop.
He had a lot of time. Herder back on the snap, looking up the middle, escapes some trouble, gets brought down by the 3rd man to hit him, and that's a nice 5 or 6 yard gain as we'll get a timeout. The Clockers want to stop the clock here with 1:07 to go. They're up 21-0 and driving against the Patriots of Concord Carlisle.
Speaking of driving, right there on 135. Drive on down to Marathon Deli.
Rob Silver, the master of the transition.
Ashland Ale House, by the way, as well.
Well, they're right on
Turkey-
126.
126, but I've tried their turkey tips a couple times. Delicious. If you want to avoid the red meat for one night,
Sure.
like I usually have it 7 meals out of 7. Turkey tips. Teriyaki turkey tips I've had there. Delicious.
Chase gets that Pistol Pete sandwich every time. Like he is just stuck. He always gets that Pistol Pete. It's a big monster of a sandwich. He loves it. I'm all over the board over there. I'll get the pizza. I'll get the Mexican bowl. I'm all over the place. Yeah, we took our kids there for years, and
You
getting
and I?
no,
I don't remember that.
Gabby and I would take our kids.
That makes more sense.
Gabby, one of the newer members of our WACA broadcast team, she and Chase partnered up last Monday for the girls' volleyball game, calling the girls' first win of the season.
I think that's not giving her enough credit. She did sneak in a broadcast last year with you, correct?
That's
Doing
true.
volleyball?
That's true. I tell everybody publicly, I married up.
That is the first husband and wife combo to ever do a game.
I'm looking forward to seeing the plaque in the WACA offices when they reopen.
And it's not the first parent-child one, because I had done that with
Sure,
Jake and
sure.
Allie, but first, yeah.
Back to the action at hand. The Clockers ready to go now. 2nd and 5 in Patriot territory. 1:07 to go. Herder hands the ball off to Gigliotti. An interesting call here with not a lot of time left on the clock. He's brought down after a short gain. So this is going to be, see where they spot this. Looks like 3rd and 4 with the clock running. Under a minute to go now. 3 wide receivers to the near
See
side.
him with the 2 hands on the ball. Nobody was going to rip that one out.
Learning a lesson from the New England Patriots last Sunday. Oh, too soon? Too soon?
I had the Dolphins.
Herder back to pass onto the sideline. Caught by Rimza at the 30 and brought down. That'll be a first down. Timeout Clockers.
8-yard pickup on the play.
31.8 seconds to go, Rob. What do you think? They have time to run at least one more play before going for a field goal if they don't connect on the touchdown?
They have time for a few.
Okay. If they run quick. If they're quick plays. Nothing,
31 seconds, as we saw last night, is all the time in the world.
Oh, at the NFL level it is. Here, I'm not so sure.
You don't give enough credit. You don't give them enough credit. No, but they can run.
We got to keep this a balanced broadcast.
They can run a couple plays.
Okay.
Even if they decide to run it, which I don't think they will.
No, they're a well-disciplined team, and we mentioned this earlier, they do execute very well.
And they're able to pick up, chunks of yards at a time.
Sure.
So if they can get 10 yards, that gives them time to run up and stop the clock, spike it. And
how many timeouts do they have left? I mean, I'm curious to see if they're going to be trying to run plays toward the sideline.
So I put the timeouts. One of the few things I did add to my stat sheet was timeouts, clockers, timeouts, opponents. Yet I neglected to. Oh, maybe we'll check with Chase.
Okay. 2 wide receivers on each side of the line. Molesky in the backfield with Herder. Late play call here from Coach McKay, his 12th year with the Clockers. Molesky moves over to Herder's left. Ball a snap. Herder drops back. Holt keeps it himself for a run up the middle. He had a hole. Dodging some defenders and brought down to the 15.
14 yards on the carry.
Clock stop on the first down. 21.9 seconds to go. They restart the clock now. Herder under center, and he just spikes it to stop the clock.
So, one of the things, with the defense they were playing back because they knew they were most likely going to throw. It definitely opened up the middle, and Herder knew that was a possibility and took advantage.
And again, we got to keep giving the offensive line credit as well.
Say the
they're
same
opening
thing. They
huge
just kind of,
holes.
gave him the space, and he was able to rip through there.
Obviously the Clockers have had good teams the last couple of years. I haven't noticed an offensive line like I've noticed this one.
No, this one seems to be just really, really quick. A lot,
very athletic.
Not just big, but Yeah, athletic is the word. And I
Okay.
know Herder and
We've seen.
Grozek worked out in the gym a lot.
Okay, here's a pass attempt to Rimsey. Couldn't quite get his arms up in time as Herder was looking for him the whole way down the right sideline. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 13.3 seconds to go. As you predicted, Rob, they do have the time. They've been able to run a few plays here, and they should be able to get at least one more off here before they may have to go for the field goal.
It almost looked like Rimza wasn't on the same page. He turned a little late.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good throw. The throw was there, but Rimza
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he got a little tangled up with the cornerback
right
there.
with his arm.
He couldn't get his arms up in time.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was going to go almost like a fade to the corner, but the ball came out more as a line drive. It came in faster than I was expecting.
So that play only took about 4 seconds. So 13.3, and it's 3rd and 10.
Okay, Troutman is over to the left, to the right. Herder scrambling. Nobody's open yet. He's going to just run it himself. Turns on the burners, through the line and in for the touchdown. Luke Herder with another touchdown.
3.7 seconds left.
Makes it 27-0. As Gilia comes on here for the extra point. So that was definitely not a planned run. Herder went scrambling off to his left, waiting for somebody to get open, had all kinds of space. And again, he's not afraid of the contact. He'll go head first. And he was able to drive through for the touchdown. Snap comes back, and Gilia buries it. He's perfect tonight on extra points. And that makes it 28-0 Clockers, matching the score of last week's Concord Carlisle game against Marblehead.
Except for the safety last week.
Well, I was talking about Concord Carlisle's.
Oh, 28. Yeah.
They lost 28-0 last week.
I was going to say, and just like last week, 4 touchdowns before
the half.
Before the half, including a late score. Last week they scored with 24 seconds left on a Jack McGough to Max Palin. And this time, again, Herder, just a smart player. He knew every single receiver and the defenders were in the end zone. And worst case scenario,
that's a calculated risk, is he, can he make it? Can he make it? And he did. And he took some punishment on the way. I mean, you got to admire it. He gave up the body, held on to the ball, and took on some bigger defenders, but found the end zone. 28-0 Clockers. As Gilia is here now to kick off for the last 3 seconds of the half. He's reached the end zone every time so far. Let's see if that big leg comes through again. Here's the kick. End over end. It gets hung up by the wind. This one will come down at the 5, and he'll down it. So that was Ryan McCullough fielded it cleanly and immediately downed the ball and stops the clock with 1.9 seconds left.
If you can see, I'm a little frustrated. It's like, listen, you got to run 3 seconds off the clock. If you're going to do that, catch it and run the 3 seconds.
Now, does the clock start when the ball hits the ground? I'd be curious if he had just let it go, if the clock would have started when it hit the ground.
Well, if he let it go, it's a live ball on the kickoff. But, yeah, he could have.
Okay, so
it's actually when they touch it, I believe, is when the clock starts running. So
okay, it's all academic as the Patriots just take a knee for that last play of the game. We are now at the half. Clockers up 28-0. Rob, very briefly, your thoughts on the first half? Anything we should look for in the second half?
Look for McKay to, again, play his second stringers. An incredible job on defense, again, limiting the Concord Carlisle squad to minimal yards. Did
they have a first down? Did they convert a first down in the first half? I don't think they did. They had that one that was close, and then they got knocked back for a loss on 3rd and short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then also look for McKay to, utilize his second string and
get them some quality minutes.
Yeah, and as a underclassman, you practice hard. So
this is the reward.
Exactly. Any chance that McKay can get to have them in the game in front of the fans, especially the home fans.
Sure.
He's going to take it. So
Okay, so again, we're glad to have you with us tonight on WACA-TV. We're going to take it to the half, and we'll catch up with you for third quarter action. It's Clockers versus Patriots here on WACA-TV.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap, as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19. Tonight's football game is brought to you in part by the Ashland Ale House. With delicious food, a comfortable family atmosphere, and the friendliest service around, the Ashland Ale House is open for both indoor and outdoor seating, as well as curbside pickup. Visit them at ashlandalehouse.com to check out the menu and place an order. And welcome back to second half action as your Ashland Clockers are taking on the Concord Carlisle Patriots. If you're just joining us, you missed a heck of a first half for the Clockers. They're up 28-0, and it's just been nothing short of dominant throughout the evening, scoring on 3 of their first 4 drives, and then executing a perfect 2-minute drill to close out the first half. Scoring's been all over the board, similar to last week on the big win against Greater Lowell Regional Tech. I'm Josh Abrams, joined by Rob Silver. And Rob, anything you gleaned during the half?
no, the men's room is nice and clean. So but once again, the Clockers making a very late entrance to the field, as they are not even up here yet. But just like last week, huge amount, 4 touchdowns before the half, including the late score, and again, 4 different people punching it into the end zone. And we do have some stats. I'm going over my numbers, but I did have Luke Herter 8 for 12, 89 yards, and a touchdown. We had Molesky on the ground with 9 rushes for 46 yards and a touchdown. Gigliotti ran the ball 5 times for 44 yards and a touchdown. And on the receiving end, the longest play of the game was the pass to Troutman for 31 yards. That was his only reception. But Keegan Weiss with his first varsity touchdown, I think it was, and that was
It might have been his first catch of the season.
That too, yeah. But I didn't know if he had got any varsity receptions last year. I don't believe so. But yeah, 10 yards and a touchdown. And
terrific balanced attack by the offense.
Yeah, and Luke Herter, as efficient as he was throwing the ball, he had 16, 31, 45, 51, 64 yards on the ground, including the 13-yard scamper right before the half with 3.7 seconds left. And that's where we are right now, 28-0, as the Clockers have made their way out of the locker room onto the field. And they were starting on defense last time, so they will be receiving with the wind in their faces a little bit, and it's a light breeze, a little bit of a mist. And back deep for the Clockers is Troutman on the left and Peter Gigliotti to your right.
And there's Will Law kicking off for the Patriots, driving it end over end to Gigliotti, hauls it in inside the 5.
I think it caught him a little off guard. He was backtracking, and just like the Patriots did on their opening kickoff, they took it out, and now he's at the 13-yard line. Didn't realize how deep he was.
The Clockers enjoyed terrific starting field position on all but one drive in the first half. The lone exception, of course, when they had to start at their own 3 after a terrific roll on the punt from the Patriots.
Yeah, 65-yard punt, yet didn't phase them. And what's interesting is a couple years ago when they had that Super Bowl title, they had a number of 90-plus yard drives,
Wow.
including a huge one against Holliston after a big interception by Brandon Grover. So Herder takes the snap, hands off to Molesky, I believe.
William Stansler in on the tackle for the Patriots after a short gain.
So I'm going to leave it up to Chase to keep the stats for the second half. I'm not going to do both while I'm doing the play-by-play. But that was a little different result than we saw in the first half. Maybe this Patriots, just like our New England Patriots, good second-half team, make some adjustments. The good coach.
Got to tell you, I hope you're wrong. Call me a homer, but I hope you're wrong about that.
Oh. I'd be very surprised if it changes too much. But again, it's Herder back there with Molesky. Keegan Weiss walks up, and Molesky takes the handoff. And he's 7 yards deep before he finds the contact that he so often looks for. And it looks like they're going to spot it just about a yard short of a first down.
First one in on the tackle for the Patriots, number 22, Holden Miller. But as you mentioned, Rob, a big first down there for the Clockers. Ball spotted at about the Clocker 24-yard line. Troutman checks out of the game.
A lot of things they can do here. I don't think they're going to get too fancy. They have Molesky lined up 5 yards deep. Gets the handoff with a head of steam. I mean, I know I've said it like I sound like a broken record, but he hits the people, they wrap him up, and he goes another 5 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the first guy to hit him that time was a senior Porter Coutre of the Patriots, but he's not getting brought down by the first guy. He's getting brought down by the third, fourth, fifth guy.
Yeah, and he's the one that's initiating the contact, too. He, like, puts his head down. It's like, I think one of the games where somebody's like, you can't call the offensive guy for targeting. He's running with the ball. He puts his head down. Gigliotti in motion, gets the handoff on the sweep, finds some space. And a very efficient first down, 6 yards for Gigliotti.
He's brought down by Amari Williams, who's doing double duty both as a wide receiver and as a defensive back. It was interesting. I mean, based on our pregame notes, I expected to see Amari Williams much more involved in the offense. I don't think we've mentioned his name once tonight.
Well, just like you mentioned, it's a matter of our defense. Well, you know, they're just shutting everybody down.
Mm-hmm.
So Gigliotti comes off, and it's Gillis up front, the up back, Herder, and Molesky 2 yards behind him. Rims in motion. He rolls out to his right, hits Gillis for his first reception of the year.
Gillis brought down by a few Patriots, not a host, but a few Patriots, including number 6, Ryan McCullough.
Senior captain, Matt Gillis, on that design rollout.
So this is a nice methodical drive for the Clockers. Rob, this is, I believe, their third first down of the drive. They've moved the ball out now, still in their own territory, but the ball spotted here at their own 44.
And typically that's how McKay will run his offense. You don't see those home run plays. I mean, they may break one here and there, but 6
they
yards,
certainly don't need it
10
tonight.
yards, yeah, and they just wear you down. Especially on first down when they're that efficient as Keegan Weiss steps in. Molesky gets the handoff behind the blocking of Weiss. Picks up about 4 yards. It's just the momentum. He hit somebody at 2 yards and just the momentum carried him forward.
It looked like among those in on the tackle. And again, it's taking a host of players to bring down Molesky, but Carter Sohn, one of the senior co-captains for the Patriots, in on the tackle there.
We'll have to check in with Chase and maybe get a, if Molesky breaks one here, maybe get a 100-yard warning so we can, when he's close. He had 46 at the half. He's got probably about another 15 or so here. Should put him up to 61 if my math is correct. And he Herta rolls out, throws over the middle.
That was
and
ill-advised.
Yes, ill-advised to say the least. It was intended for Troutman, into the wind, underthrown, but 3 defenders there. And
He almost got hit, I think, as he released the ball. Intercepted by number 3, Amari Williams, who we had just mentioned. We hadn't said his name all night. And makes the big defensive play, the first turnover of the night for either team, other than Downs, of course. And Patriots will start off here at midfield.
The reality was Troutman was behind the defense, but I don't know if he, like you said, maybe he's just about to get hit, so he didn't get enough on it as he had intended to.
And throwing into the wind a bit.
Yeah, I think that wind's deceiving, and the air's kind of heavy as well. The handoff goes nowhere behind the pursuit of Matt Gillis.
That was Miles Weathers on the carry, and Gillis basically made a hand tackle. I mean, just was able to get a hand, then an arm, and very impressive tackle for a loss.
Gillis, inspired by his name being called on the reception, makes a tremendous play on defense.
How often have we seen that? A player makes a great play on offense and then makes a great play on defense.
That's exactly. I know. I'm a big fan of that. It happens more often than people would think.
6:28 to go in the third quarter. Clocker's up 28-0.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. Got a little bit of room. Molesky tries to cut him off.
There's the flag. I saw it. I was waiting for it to happen. Patrick Delary was in hot pursuit after the quarterback, and he got brought down from behind. But I didn't see the flag right away. Then I started watching the play, and finally at the end of the play, I saw that flag there. That one's coming back.
Yeah, that explains the yards that he was able to pick up. So that will go for naught. And instead of a 3rd and short, it's now going to be a 2nd and very long. Because it is a spot foul, they marked the 10 off from the spot of the foul. It's now, instead of 2nd and 13, it is now 2nd and 29. Who's the quarterback for
Jennings.
Them? That's Jennings. Thank you. Fumbled ball.
We'll say, I don't know if he ever had possession of it. The pass attempt was to number 4, Miles Weathers. He had it for a moment and got hit immediately. I don't think he ever had possession.
I was looking down at the roster. I didn't even know it was a pass. I just looked up, saw a ball loose.
Sure.
And they thought it might have been a slight injury, I thought. Yeah, number 52 was shaken up a tiny bit for the Clockers. Is that Bovenschulte? Yeah. Okay, but he seems to be all right. He'll be back in there.
3rd and 29 for the Patriots.
And they fake the handoff, throws back, wide open, pursuit by Troutman. He missed
the tackle.
And that's going to go for some big yards and a nice block. And they're going to waltz into the end zone.
That's Brian Jennings with the touchdown. That's an incredible play. They had them pinned 3rd and 29.
70-yard play from their own 30-yard line. The throwback screen, I guess, had one defender to beat, and Troutman rolled the dice.
A little
and
too
it
aggressive
came up
there,
snake eyes, unfortunately. Or if he's in the middle of the point, it came up 7. So, I don't know.
He crapped out. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, it wasn't the outcome that he wanted.
Not at all.
So they line up for the extra point, and that's Will Law, your place kicker.
He hasn't been particularly strong on kickoffs. Let's see how he does his first extra point attempt of the night.
High snap, handled well. That's going.
It's good.
Good.
Okay, so took till the second half, but the Patriots are on the board, still down 28-7 your Clockers with 5:42 to go in the third quarter.
So if the Patriots going to write a script for the second half comeback. That's pretty much how it would go. Clockers started off. We're moving the ball pretty efficiently. And the one bad decision by Luke Herter resulted in an interception. But then the defense stepped up. Had him at, like you said, third. I think it was 2nd and 29. It was 2nd and 13 before the penalty. Oh, no, that's right. The missed play on 2nd down. Yeah, so 3rd and 29.
3rd and 29. Not only converts for the first, goes all the way in for the touchdown.
Some good blocking. You know, take a look at Keegan Weiss. Is he out there? Because he really got smashed.
I see Troutman back along with Gigliotti.
I don't know if Weiss is normally on the special teams to begin with on the receiving end. But he got hit hard. He didn't see the block. He turned around. The guy just crushed him. Speaking of crush, grape crush waiting for me, courtesy of Marathon Deli. As Will Law, after his extra point, looks to kick it off. Kicked it deep last time. This time I think he's going to let it go. Not sure what this is. Gigliotti does take it out, though. Slick field. And again, just a poor decision.
I got to tell you, Rob, there was nothing I liked about any of those decisions.
I mean, if you're going to stand at the 5-yard line and you have to back up to catch it,
Several steps.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
And then to come out and immediately lose your balance.
Yeah,
and still keep going.
But I wasn't sure, and maybe he wasn't sure either, because he
Where he
caught
was.
it in, around the 1-yard lane. It was his momentum took him back into the end zone.
Yeah.
So maybe he's thinking, hey, I got to get it out of here, or it's going to be a safety. So I don't know what the official ruling is. Gigliotti stretching his leg here on the sideline.
Yeah.
Not what you like to see.
Nope.
Talking about that with a friend of mine. Once you start getting cramps, you can't. You drink water. It's too late by the time you start cramping up. As the handoff goes to Molesky up the middle.
Patriots is finally starting to learn how to plug that middle of the line. Molesky not getting the same yards he was getting in the first half.
Yeah, just over 4 yards. And you and I both do the math fairly well. But if you get 4 yards a carry, then that's okay.
Absolutely. Going to win a lot of ball games.
Yeah.
Averaging 4 yards a carry. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
So rims are lined up to the bottom of the screen. At the top of the screen is Max Palin. Gillis to the right of the line. Back up by Molesky. And he smashes ahead for 10 yards, maybe 11.
Did you hear that pop of a helmet?
I did. Even with the headset on. Again, we'll have to check in with Chase for the century mark, the century watch.
Okay, I still see Keegan Weiss on the sideline talking with Troutman. He hasn't come back into the game yet, but he seems to be okay. And again, I think the Clockers are going kind of into a second half, rotating around now.
I mean, the Clockers have a 28-7 lead, so running the ball is a smart play regardless. It's going to chew up a lot of clock as the pile still moves.
Molesky continues to get harder in yards after first contact.
And Jake Rimsel limping off the field.
That's not a good sign.
And Keegan Weiss back into the game, so that is a good sign.
Same thing, another stretching out and here on the sideline.
Yeah, so we're down to 3:33 to go in the third quarter. The Clockers leading 28-7, 28-0 at the half if you just joined us. Concord Carlisle on a 70-yard play on 3rd and 29 got on the scoreboard. Herter from the shotgun. Stiff arm, takes a hit.
He took a hit very late. I mean, I think he was still in bounds, but that, again, a calculated risk to be going after a quarterback that close to the sideline.
Picks up about 2 yards, brings up a 3rd and 2. But I think that's, when you do the stiff arm, it kind of
You're opening yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like needling the defense a little bit. So if they get a chance to, even if they do draw a late hit penalty, they sometimes will.
Okay, Weiss is back out.
So they
Matt
go
Gillis
from
is
the,
in.
I'm calling it the squish offense. So Herder keeps it himself, powers ahead after initial contact for a pickup of 6 yards and a first down.
Ryan McCullough among those in on the tackle for the Patriots, but you're right, another big first down for the Clockers. Keep that clock rolling. They're fine to just as you mentioned earlier, chew up clock, chew up yards. Don't need to keep piling up on the scoreboard, but keep the Patriots off of it. As we tick down, under 3 minutes to go, clock is running. Clockers will start off here 1st and 10 from their own 47.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see a scenario where they're going to look for the pass, where the rushing game has been so efficient.
As long as they can stay out of 3rd and long, there's absolutely no need to pass the ball.
This will be a pass, I'm sure. Molesky still going with one, only dragged 2 defenders, but he got 8 yards.
You know, he has that trait. We haven't talked about this before, Rob, but he has that trait. He keeps the legs pumping.
Exactly.
He keeps those pistons going, and he still finds a way to pick up additional yards, make positive yards.
If you remember Eddie Braganca from a couple years ago, that Super Bowl team, same thing, low to the ground, just very efficient, just always churning the legs. So under 2 minutes in this 3rd quarter. I'm Rob Silver with my partner Josh Abrams on WACA-TV. It's the Clockers leading 28-7 and a 2nd and 2. He looks to pass. He's got Palin in the flat.
It's a nice, safe play.
Exactly. And Palin very quickly becoming one of Herder's favorite targets. And the more they play together, the better the timing gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw last week Palin, turn the wrong way once or twice. I mean, he did end up with a touchdown that night. But, a little bit of growing pains, a little bit of acclimation going on.
Yeah. As we approach the 1 minute mark in the 3rd quarter, it is 1st and 10 on the 40-yard line of the Concord Carlisle Patriots.
Molesky is deep back here.
He hands it off to Molesky, who stumbles, but does not.
Incredible.
Can we call him Weeble?
But they don't fall down?
Right. I'm sure if the guy.
Let's drop some more 80s references. This is
Right.
great. 70s, 80s. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
He's a Weeble. Now we know we've made it. If at some point we run into one of these, varsity players, and they're like, "Oh, we love the Weeble nickname you gave Molesky."
Would you say that the Patriot defense has been kind of some shrinky dinks? Too far? Did I go too far?
Yeah, well, I'm not really seeing the. I mean, I love the shrinky dink reference, but I'm just not sure how it relates.
Just they seem smaller, like giving up a lot of yards.
Okay.
I know it was a reach.
Oh, okay.
It was a reach. Granted.
Okay, all right, okay. So that will do it for the 3rd quarter. As when we come back, it'll be 2nd and 1 on the 31-yard line of the Concord Carlisle Patriots. But as we go to the break, again, it's 28-7. You're watching WACA-TV. Well, you're watching, actually, varsity football on WACA-TV. Rob Silver with Josh Abrams. We'll be back in a minute.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap, as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles. a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Tonight's football game is brought to you in part by the Ashland Ale House. With delicious food, a comfortable family atmosphere, and the friendliest service around, the Ashland Ale House is open for both indoor and outdoor seating, as well as curbside pickup. Visit them at ashlandalehouse.com to check out the menu and place an order.
And we're back. Welcome back to WACA-TV's broadcast of the Ashland Clocker matchup with the Concord Carlisle Patriots. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter. It is 2nd and 1. 28-7 lead for the Ashland Clockers. Luke Herter with the play call. Gigliotti lined up behind him. Does not seem to be bothered by the cramp that he was working on the sidelines as he picks up another 5 yards and, more importantly, a first down.
Really great job there of just following his blockers, Rob. Again, that offensive line is creating some gaps for him. Just follow the blockers. Nice, safe run, right? No need to risk anything here. Avoid turnovers, chew up clock, keep the Patriots from getting the ball back. Ethan Antoniuk just checked out of the game.
Yeah, he's been in a couple plays. So, and it's Herter with Gillis, the up back, and Gigliotti, who gets the handoff, finds some space on the outside, and another 5 yards. It's got to be a little demoralizing on the, on the defensive side.
He got spun around there, and the last man on, I think, was John Keeler that was actually able to spin him down to the ground.
And they actually spot him 4 yards. So that's not demoralizing. So now they're all pumped up.
Is that where the line is between demoralizing and not demoralizing?
4 yards. It's like, okay, I can manage that. Maybe we can.
I mean, you
play
said
for
if
the
you're
pass.
averaging 4 yards a carry, you're
right.
going to win a lot of games.
I mean, 3 obviously.
Oh,
you're doing jumping jacks or cartwheels. Cartwheels. You do cartwheels when you're excited, not jumping jacks. All right, in motion. That's Remza. He's also been a little bothered by the cramps. So Gigliotti bounces it out to the left. He's still moving forward, and the pile is right around the first down, and it is a first down.
He got taken down right at the 15.
Yeah. Kind of swam over the pile down to the 15, pickup of 11 yards. Like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah. Jason Crispin just ran off for the Patriots. He's going to catch a breather.
Crispin. Oh, they have a Jason Crispin as well.
No, you caught me. I looked at the wrong. I looked at the wrong.
Nice.
Matthew Bonifant checked out for the Patriots.
Oh,
I'm like
man,
spinning
does
my
that feel
clipboard
good.
back and forth, back
Hey,
and forth.
I've been there. I've been there.
We're all even up now, one apiece.
Exactly. Weren't you thinking the same thing as they roll out to the right, Herter? Finds Troutman.
I don't know how he caught that one. He picked that one up off the ground. But it's completion.
Yeah, he was sliding to the ground and just a perfect throw again where nobody else was going to get it except Troutman.
It was similar to a pass in the first half that just came up just short. Troutman just missed a shoestring catch.
So that's demoralizing 6 yards.
Somebody want to tell Tom Hamilton to get himself off the field?
Yeah.
It's pretty brave
I don't know
after
if
he took a
can
hit
hear.
last week.
It's all right.
That's fine. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
28-7. That's Matt Gillis lined up at the bottom of the screen. First time he's been in that set, if I remember. And it's a pitch to Gigliotti. And a flag comes in.
It's a late flag from the backfield.
In the spot of holding.
Yep. That was a deep pitch. We haven't seen many of those.
No, that was the first one. And the Concord Carlisle guy picks up the flag.
He got yelled at for picking up the flag.
Like,
just trying to help out the ref. You have to bend over and pick it up.
What is this material? Is this a silk?
Holding, you were silk. Rob, you did have the penalty call right. It is holding against the clocker, so that one's going to come back.
It's all right. It gives the offense a little bit more room to work. Makes the touchdown pass, a little bit more available. So Max Palin, Connor Kramer in there. Antoniuk is in the lineup as well. Keegan Weiss at the top of the screen. Connor Kramer on the end of the line to the right, and Molesky in the back. Palin down the bottom. We'll see what they do. As they got Herta wrapped up, first time tonight that they drop him for a sack.
Brian Jennings, he made that big touchdown reception, the lone touchdown for the Patriots tonight. He comes up big here with the first sack of the night, taking down Herter and forcing third and really long.
Was he the lawyer at the Scopes trial, or is that
Brian Jennings?
William Bryan Jennings.
You're all over the place tonight. I've got like 12 Angry Men in my head.
Another solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
The original, not
No,
the,
of course.
Yeah.
Goes without saying. Speaking of originals, we screened the original Men in Black yesterday. Kids had never seen it.
Was there another one? Did they do a remake?
I don't know if it was
Men in Black 2 and 3.
There are four Men in Black movies, including now I'm blanking on the Chris Hemsworth is in the newest one, and I don't know if it was a remake or it's an extension of the original series.
And while we're chatting, there is a timeout on the field. Clockers facing a 3rd and 20, leading 28-7, 7:28 to go in the. That's a lot of 28s in the fourth quarter.
And tonight's game on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Marathon Deli. They're at 12 Union Street, have a delicious assortment of wraps, sandwiches, salads, and more. Check out their menu at marathondeli.com. And, of course, we do want to thank them for supplying us and the crew with dinner tonight.
There is a wrap for pretty much every week, 34 wraps. And between the wraps and the paninis, 28 paninis, I think.
Okay, well, when you do the wraps and the paninis together, then you've
Right.
got it.
Oh,
There are
yeah.
52 weeks in the year. I do know that.
No, that I was getting there.
By the way, I switched things up tonight. Went with the Cape Cod.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she texted the wrong person. Like, Cape Cod with a side of hummus.
Not tonight. Straight up Cape Cod.
I'll tell you, I mixed it up last time, and I had the Thai, the spicy chicken.
I love that one.
The
That's
chicken,
a good one.
this peanut spicy
Yep.
Thai sauce or whatever the heck it was. Very spicy.
I love it. I think that's a really good wrap.
I wasn't prepared, but the grape soda was
How
able
does the
to.
grape soda go with that?
Grape soda goes with everything. So here we go, 3rd and 20
to disagree with that.
from the 25-yard line. This could be setting up for a John Giglia field goal. There's Coach McKay yelling from the sideline.
This is definitely within Gilia's range as long as Herter doesn't take another sack.
Might do the same thing. If there's some space, he'll keep it and maybe set up a 4th down. Hands off to Molesky, who kicks it outside, trying to find the corner. He's able to get down to the 11-yard line, which gives us a 4th and 6, 4th and 7.
Patriots are making some significant personnel changes. 3 players coming in and going out.
So I'm surprised that they're not trying to kick just for the heck of it.
Right.
I mean, he's got tons of leg. I mean, 28 yards is nothing. I think with this type of wind, he could kick probably 40, maybe 45 if it was, right.
He's got the wind with him right now.
At the end of the game, and there was no worries about field position. But it is, why is the clock running?
There's the flag.
So this is interesting. They threw a flag, but I can't imagine he would let the clock run down to 0. I think he was just taking a timeout and letting the play clock run. So somebody threw a flag.
Well, yeah, they threw a flag.
Was it the Concord Carlisle? Did he pocket that flag that last time he touched it?
They haven't picked up the ball yet, so Rob, I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think that is a timeout that's been called. It looks like the Clockers have 2 timeouts left if I'm reading the scoreboard correctly.
Yes.
So why don't we take a moment here? We can thank another sponsor, and of course, we'll say thank you. And today's game on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
And it will be a field goal attempt, again, from the 11-yard line, so that's going to make it a 28-yard attempt. This is one of the longer field goals of his career if he makes it.
Okay, Keegan Weiss on the hole, John Giglia back.
Philip Bork, the long snapper. Good hold. A little wide.
Wide left.
So 6:20 to go.
Had plenty of distance. It looks like he just pulled it a little too much.
Yeah, he's kind of been off to the left a little bit. But when you're a lot closer, you have a little bit more room, margin of error.
Okay.
Not a terrible kick, though.
Nope. Nothing wrong with going for it there. No worries at all. 6:20
no
to
flags,
go.
no flags to give him a second attempt. No offsides in the middle of the line. Okay, so the Concord Carlisle Patriots will take over from their 20-yard line. Trailing 28-7 late in the game, 6:20 to go in this fourth quarter. It's Dylan Jennings. Last time they touched the ball, it was a 70-yard pass touchdown completion. And they got to keep heaving it, though. They don't really have time to be running the ball. And that's what they do, and that one falls into no man's land. Good coverage anyways by Matt Gillis on number 24, the intended receiver, E.J. Vasiliadis.
And it was Jack McGough who had great pressure breaking through the line and forcing the quarterback to release early. So he wasn't able to obviously not able to get the sack there, but he broke up that play just by putting pressure on and forcing that quarterback to release early.
Mm-hmm.
And receiver just wasn't there yet.
Yeah, but that's what they have to do. I mean, and it's kind of tough. I mean, this Clocker defense is pretty talented, and if you know they're going to be throwing it.
It looked like they were lined up, the Clockers, in a 3-4 that time, and again, McGough kind of like a semi-blitz, like jumping in over the line there just as the ball was snapped.
They pick up about 7 yards on that run, but the clock is moving.
Yeah, under six to go.
6, yeah. So Dylan Jennings calling out the play.
He's changing the play at the line. We'll see how this goes.
Fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, and he's going to keep it, as he likes to do.
McGough and Gigliotti in on the tackle there, down on the far sideline.
He does get enough for the first down, but doesn't get out of bounds.
Interesting.
Although I don't know if the clock would have stopped. I'm not sure what the out of bounds rule is. I apologize. But when you watch us on Clocker Talk every other week on WACA-TV, that's one of the rules we might talk about. Anything you want to know about, let us know. Clocker Talk at WACATV.com as a short pass and a huge hit by Gillis.
Pass complete to E.J. Vasiliadis. His first
and a flag comes in, and I'm not
night.
sure if it's on the hit there or if there was an illegal block on the Concord Carlisle side. I mean, Gillis, it was a clean hit. He led with his shoulder, and he hit him in the shoulder. Just because it's aggressive. Yeah, it was. It was a low block on Concord Carlisle, I think.
Okay, so right now the ball's spotted at about the 37, and they're going to mark it back from the 38. They'll mark it back from there.
Yeah, it was actually Luke Herter, actually, who was on the receiving end of that illegal block.
15 yards.
Yeah,
that's a backbreaker when you're trying to get back into this game.
It was almost a leg breaker. That's the problem.
4:55 to go in the game. Clockers up 28-7, but the Patriots with the ball. First and 20.
I'm going to pick Jake Troutman for the interception. Oh, they throw it underneath, and there's another huge hit, and they call him down.
Wow.
Matt Gillis, senior captain. And there's a flag maybe on Pat Deloria's. Might have said something to the ref.
Kyle Fivick was the one who made the catch and took the blow from from Gillis.
Use your head.
Yeah. So immediately, Deloria's comes off the field after that flag.
Connor Kramer's coming on.
And if it is on Deloria's automatic first down, actually, you know what? I apologize. Well, pass interference is not an automatic first down anymore. On sportsmanlike conduct, I believe. Yeah. Offsetting. Okay. So offsetting penalties on sportsmanlike conduct, but I think they got Deloria's on the retaliation, which, you know, had he just kind of bit his tongue, would have been 15 yards. So, with that being said, we are first, back to first and second and 15. Dylan Jennings rolls out again. Just want to make sure with 4:20 to go that the game doesn't get out of hand. You know, it's 28-7.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid in hockey, when they would call, you know, coincidental minors, and then, you know, like nothing happened, right? Like nobody went in the box and they just kept playing 5-on-5. That would drive me crazy. Like, what's the point? But to your point, keeping this game under control, that was probably the right call to, you know, just call them offsetting.
Yeah, you don't want to see anyone get injured.
Nope,
you don't
not
want
at
to
all.
see as they throw it deep. And that was
Clocker's caught a break there.
yeah, number 17 on the defense, Nick Tang, defending against E.J. Vasiliadis. And he actually jumped a little early.
He was early.
It's
He was very early.
It's like if Vasiliadis and Coach McKay giving him a little couple pointers right there.
Working on technique on the sideline. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a little overeager. You know, you look up and that ball's coming in. It looks like a basketball. It's so big, just, you know, like, just want to swat it out of the way. And
He had
jumped
time
early.
to yeah, and he didn't even have to jump. He had time to actually just play it and catch it like a punt. So Jennings rolls out. He lets it fly. This is going to be a clocker. Troutman
chance at redemption.
cuts to the left, and he's dragged down. But that's an interception for Jake Troutman and a 34-yard return on the interception. I know I didn't call it on that play, but I did call Jake Troutman for the interception.
Troutman shaking up. He's
plays
holding his left leg. He's getting tended to on the sideline now.
Another cramp.
He's getting stretched out. I mean, he was hobbling. I'm hoping it's only a cramp.
Yeah, the way they're stretching him out, it looks like a cramp. And
he ran a long way. I mean, he ran almost as far across
and he
the
got
field.
Just tripped up on the heels.
Yep.
The guy
Yep.
did a good job of reaching out.
But
So-
that was Dylan Drozek forcing that one. He had great pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, and he just threw it up for grabs. So,
Well, it's almost similar to the Clocker interception earlier.
so Ethan Antoniuk in there.
The lead back.
Yep, blocking from Molesky, who cuts through the line and gets
He's close to
10
a first
yards.
down.
3:20 to go.
He's definitely over 100 yards at this point.
I don't know if he's definitely over 100. Again, the Century Watch, Chase. No?
Chase is not on the Century Watch. Although Chase could be
So-
the roving reporter to go down to
so
the sideline and check
I
the
remember.
official stats.
So speaking of centuries, when I was
Speaking of
announcing
centuries.
horse racing,
You announced
Har-
horse racing?
Scarborough Downs harness racing, I had the pleasure of calling the 100th win of the year for Lee Fitch. Lee Fitch's nickname was the Fox because of his skillful driving. And the announcer who was on the mic at the time, Casey Johnson, as we get the handoff and hit in the backfield, number 33, Liam Fleming, into the game. So gave me the, he's like, if Lee Fitch wins the race, call him the Century Fox. So that was my
The 20th Century Fox?
yeah, that was my call.
Excellent.
So and so wins the race, and it's the Century Fox.
Of all the things that we could possibly talk about tonight, horse racing never entered my mind that we were going to hit that topic tonight.
From now on, every time we call a game together, I am going to make a horse racing reference. Whether it be the nice exacta box I hit recently with Stick with Kramer, who I can't stand, but I had to play him. 24-1, he wins $350 exacta. Had it 3 times. All right, Herder takes the snap. Gives it to Fleming, who cuts up the middle. And a very, very strong run. First down to the 10-yard line. That was a pickup of about 11 yards.
You could almost say that run was Molesky-esque as he just busted it right up the middle.
Yeah, the line just keeps blocking.
Good sign here. Troutman jogging back into the offense.
Yeah, and we'll see if we try and do it one more time. 5 touchdowns, 5 different scorers.
Yep.
Herder is in at the quarterback, though.
Running low on clock. We're down to just about a minute to go here in the game. Clocker's up 28-7, but they're well within the red zone.
The fact that Herder is in there, I think they're going to just take the knee victory formation. It was a well-fought game, and that's what they're going to do. So with 50 seconds left, Herder takes the knee, and we're under 40. See if they start the play clock now, so that could be the final play. See if they make him snap it one more time. But, you know, 28-0 at halftime. They gave up that one long touchdown, but they basically played a complete game.
Absolutely. They had, even though they didn't put any points on the board in the second half, they definitely led in time of possession.
Yeah, it was just that one play. So
it's a good night when you can say that your offense had one bad play and your defense had one bad play. For an entire game, fantastic.
Yeah.
And that'll do it. Clock strikes 0.
Yeah, very raucous crowd. And the Ashland Clockers go to 2-0. The Concord Carlisle Patriots 0-2. And
Clockers have an interesting schedule this year, Rob. It's non-league matchups to start off, and then the league, the Tri-Valley League games come in later in the season, to the last 4 games of the year, finishing, of course, with Hopkinton on Thanksgiving Day here at the Plateau.
Yeah, I think they have 5 games. We'll take a look at that. Next week, though, they head over to Wayland. And that, again, it seems like every week the matchups get tougher and tougher. Tonight's game, though, it's almost like a mirror of reflection of last week's game.
A lot of similarities, absolutely.
You know, they had a commanding lead at the half. They were able to, I don't want to say coast, but they kind of were able to coast.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there
was never any panic. There was never any concern, really. They really had control of this game from the outset. The defense set the tone early, got a gift of a muffed punt by the Patriots on the first drive, and it was all downhill from there, so to speak.
Yeah, and even when even when the Clockers were pinned deep on that on the 3-yard line after a nice 65, 67-yard punt, they were able to march down the field and put the ball in the end zone right before the half. And 4 different scorers tonight. We had who did we have scoring tonight? We had Luke Herder with the last touchdown right before the half. Gigliotti opened it with an 8-yard run. Keegan Weiss with his first touchdown, varsity touchdown, 10-yard reception from Luke Herder. And we had Andrew Molesky getting on the board with the final score, with the third score of the night. So, yeah, silver medal.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think I'm going to go with Luke Herder. Despite the one play, the one bad pass, he was very efficient. I don't know what the final numbers were. I know he was 8 of 12 in the first half. I don't think he had other than that throw he made there, I think it was 1 or 2 in the second
Again,
half.
just one bad throw, but I mean, he picked up a ton of yards on the ground. He
Yeah.
had a rushing touchdown.
He had close to 70, 80 yards on the ground.
And really, I mean, he was managing that offense, just directing it very nicely. They chewed up huge amounts of field, took plenty of time off the clock in the second half, and made this kind of a relaxing win for the Clockers and their fans.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens next week. Please stay tuned. Again, we're going to try and get the Clocker Talk, and you'll see a lot of these highlights. And again, like Josh has said so eloquently, if you have questions, you want to see certain interviews, you want to not see certain interviews, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like.
And if
we'll
you-
try
again,
and get it on the air.
If you have an elementary or middle school player, a future Clocker that you think should be profiled here on the show on Clocker Talk, we'd love to hear from you.
If you got some videos, send some videos. Send it to clockertalk@wacatv.com. That's clockertalk@wacatv.com. And we'll be happy to put it on the air. We need material. I mean, I can't be up here cracking jokes all night. I mean, we need material.
We have a limited
Obviously,
amount of, yeah.
my material's not good. But so that's a wrap here from the Plateau, William Cunis Field, Ashland High School. On behalf of my partner, Josh Abrams, I'm Rob Silver. And, I can't go yet. I got to thank my crew, Mackie Kotov, Chase Abrams, Nick Cunningham, Justin O'Brien, Tom Hamilton, and again, running the show, Connor Donovan. So, for Josh Abrams, I'm Rob Silver, saying good night and go Clockers.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli offers a full range of lunch and dinner items for dine-in or catering. Fine cold cuts, cheeses, and meats also available, in addition to specialty wraps such as the Mayflower wrap, as well as the Honey Bee wrap. They'll be sure to get your mouth watering. Serving Metro West for over 24 years, give them a call at 508-231-1859 or find them on the web at marathondeli.com.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Techniplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Tonight's football game is brought to you in part by the Ashland Ale House. With delicious food, a comfortable family atmosphere, and the friendliest service around, the Ashland Ale House is open for both indoor and outdoor seating, as well as curbside pickup. Visit them at ashlandalehouse.com to check out the menu and place an order.